title is like, husband cheats on wife and leaves her for her sister. Like, what is going? What is the deal? Help me out, wife. Help me out. Hey guys, we are back. This is Enough Said. We are Meek Simmons. I'm Marcus.
I'm Chantel.
And we have another video for you today. It's going to be a little different today. We'll have like a very, very deep discussion today. It's going to be, might be a little rough for some of you ladies, but we're going to have this discussion. I got a question, and I got a serious question. Lean in, guys. Ladies, why do y'all watch shows that show women getting jacked up and beat up? Why do y'all like those shows? Lifetime, OWN, what's the other network? It's like all these different networks that women watch. And every time I flip past it, it's like the title is like, husband cheats on wife and leaves her for her sister. Like, what is going? What is the deal? Help me out, wife. Help me out. Well, before she gives her answer, please like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for stopping by. Please help me out because I need some help.
I mean, I don't personally like those movies.
You used to watch them all the time.
You think so?
I've only
not like the like. You mean like the movies where the man is doing something crazy to the woman?
It's always something.
Like
it's always
dramatic, like the dramas.
Yeah, it's always some woman. Her husband's abusing her. He's cheating on her. It's always something.
You actually watched a few of those with me.
Not Lifetime. The cheesy movies on Hallmark, Lifetime, LMN. I think LMN.
Like the romance stuff.
Well, no, it's just some husband beating up on his wife, or a woman getting abducted or thrown into a back of a van and held hostage. Yeah. And these are on women's networks.
They're on a lot.
And y'all wonder why y'all scared all the time. Y'all wonder why you're always in fear.
Yeah.
Because you watch these movies and it's always some woman getting jacked up. Like, yes, these things do happen in our society, but not in mass. Like, it's just like this woman just in this middle class neighborhood. She's walking down the street, she gets snatched up. Like, that's not why this stuff goes down. But I don't understand it, and I need help to understand it because so many men have asked me, and I don't know these things.
Do men really talk about that? Like why we watch that?
Yes. Yes, we don't understand.
So it's an issue, you think?
It's not an issue. We just don't understand. Okay, I'm an action movie junkie. I like a good action movie.
Yes.
But never in my mind do I think that I'm gonna find myself in a situation where I'm running down the middle of Main Street, where were we at, with a machine gun shooting people. That's not something that pops into my mind. But y'all watch this movie and y'all scared.
It's very simple.
Please help me.
It's because we are emotional creatures. And when you're watching a movie like that, you get to feel all of those emotions. That's all. It's as simply as that.
So it's like watching a horror movie you like feeling
Yeah, some
scared.
people love to watch horror movies or, scary movies. Or...
Is it because it's realistic? Like, is it because it could happen. Obviously, it has happened. Women have been abused and stuff like that.
Yeah, horrible things like that happen, but...
But, I don't get it.
Yeah, all I can tell you is that it's just emotionally you are there. You're feeling it. And especially, I find it to be true also, like if you are not really fulfilled in your life and you really are kind of bored and don't really have something to do, something that's filling your emotional bucket, so to speak, then you want to watch shows like that because emotionally you're kind of, your life's kind of,
Yeah.
So let me jump over into Fantasyville and feel all this. Oh, snap. He all the way, like, he locked her up. She is tied to a chair. Do y'all see that? Like, maybe there's some things that need to be happening in our own lives where...
Well, I see the entertainment value behind it.
Yeah, I mean, it is entertainment. But...
I love a good movie. I'm a movie buff. I have no problem with a good movie. I think what really frustrates a lot of men is that a lot of times, like you said, their significant others will watch those things and then almost like play it out a little bit in the marriage. And I see a lot with social media. And I know we're tongue in cheek, we're joking, but it really has the meaning behind it is simply this: social media is not real. And the things that you watch and the things that you allow into your psyche, into your mind, stay there forever. And sometimes when your life is monotonous or your relationship is monotonous, you can find yourself almost like playing out these things.
Escapism.
Yes, it's escapism, and that's dangerous. That's very, very dangerous. So I know I'm joking, ladies, but it's also not a joke.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful with that because, see, we as men, we have a problem too. Like a lot of men will see an image of a certain type of woman or something like that, and then they start comparing their spouse, and then you get to comparing, and it's like that woman's not real. You know, even like explicit videos, things like that can really jack up a man's mind, and not just a man. Women are very much into that stuff too. Yeah, can really it can skew your viewpoint of sex, and it makes it distorts it because it's not real. It's more it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's a fantasy. That's the word. It's a fantasy. It's not a real thing. And so I would just say, you know, even though we're joking, and watch what you want to watch, ladies. I'm saying, but just reevaluate. Understand, why am I watching this? Why is this? Like we always talk about the reality shows, the Love and this, and the basketball this, and these wives, and
whatever.
That's not, none of this stuff's real.
Or the Love Island stuff, and all of these.
Love at First Sight, and all this stuff. None of this stuff is real. It's not. It's all scripted.
It's scripted love. No how you do that? How you script love? Like, okay, kiss me now. Okay, we're in love now. We're falling in love. Or read that right. Like,
no matter how much they say it's reality, it's not reality. It's real easy to get caught up in that mess, and you can find yourself playing those things out and kind of living those people's lives without even realizing it. And probably some of y'all watch like, nah, it's just my favorite show. Okay, when you come see me, and you gotta come see my wife, trust me, you'd be surprised how much that stuff plays out.
We have coached couples before, and that was a question I remember you asking. What do you watch? He was talking to the wife, and then she was naming all these different things because in the relationship there were certain behaviors that she was exhibiting, and sure enough, those things she was watching it and she was playing them out. So be careful because you are what you consume. I know you've heard this growing up. You are what you eat. Well, that's not just a physical thing. You are what you consume. So be careful what you watch. Be careful what you listen to. And if you're a Christian, there are certain scriptures, and I'm sure that are just jumping out at you about your eye gate and your ear gate. You like, be careful with those things that you watch and hear. It really does matter.
Yep. And I've asked several people that question. I've asked men that question. You know, like, are you into explicit videos?
Right.
Are you watching those things? And
yes.
And if you read my book, you understand my journey with those. So I understand what happens to a person when they are consuming the wrong things. And there's nothing wrong with having your favorite show, but you gotta understand that there's a difference between the reality show you on TV and the reality that you're living. And it's extremely detrimental to a marriage when a person doesn't understand those two. And they try to blur those lines. And because the life you live it can never beat a cinematic motion picture. You know, my life is nothing compared to what happens in a Marvel movie. You know, like, everybody makes it out alive for the most part. You know, everybody got these extraordinary powers. It's not real. It's entertainment. That's all it is. And if you see it as that, then you're good. But if you start to see yourself playing those things out, or you following everybody on social media and you following their everyday lives and you just kind of fantasizing about what it's like to be that person or to live that kind of lifestyle, then you are headed down a very, very dangerous path.
I would also say this: you are probably more highly susceptible to playing these kind of things out in your relationship, especially if you haven't had a healthy model of what a healthy marriage looks like in your life. So maybe you didn't have mom and dad married, or mom and dad maybe did not have a healthy marriage and you didn't actually get to see that. So your only reference of marriage is what you're seeing on movies, TV, social media. And so if your only pattern of what marriage looks like is what's scripted and made up, then it kind of gives you this distorted view. So when you're trying to come together with another person you're married, you've got all these fantasy, rom-com things in your head because that's all you know. You've not seen it up close and personal. Because I know, like, for me, that was part of my story. I did not see that. So a lot of this stuff that I've learned for our relationship, I had to really pray, read the word, and then also do my own research because I didn't see it growing up. Not a healthy version of it.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of couples struggle with that because they didn't see it. It's not uncommon when you got a divorce rate over 60%. Pretty much every other person that you meet
Yeah.
is a product of a divorce.
Like I have my household.
Yeah. So it's very likely that a person that you're dating or that you're seriously you're getting ready to marry or have married is a product of divorce.
Yeah.
Or for some people, never even had a relationship. You know, it's just single parent, raised by a single parent, and so you don't really know how a relationship when you're living with someone of the opposite sex, how that works, how that plays out. So your only real access to it is media. Is media, social media, TV, books, all those things that you see. And generally speaking, you don't see positive representations of, especially if you're a woman. Oh my goodness, a positive representation of what a real man looks like and how he functions in the home. You really can't find it on TV anymore. It's not. I can't think of one show that I would recommend you to watch that says, hey, this is a really, really good representation of what it looks like. I wouldn't even say the Cosby Show. People are like, oh, the Cosby Show. No, Cliff was. It was very obvious who ran that house, and it was not Heathcliff Huxtable. It was not him. So I wouldn't even say that. A lot of people are like, oh, punching the air again. Oh Lord,
why do they punch the air so much?
People don't know what else to do. They can't punch me, so they just punch the air. But I wouldn't even say that, and that was 30 years ago.
Yeah, that's a long time
So
ago.
definitely not now. So if you don't have that, then you need to find a mentor. You need to find somebody who's doing it. A real person, a real person who's real, and they have a solid marriage. And for men, the same thing. You have to find positive people in your life to model this thing for you that you can watch and say, okay, that's how you handle a situation. Or they could talk you through it. Because if you're looking at social media, you're looking at or TV, you're not going to get the the right representation. Everything can't be for entertainment. And most things on social media are for entertainment. And even on this platform we're on right now, a lot of things are for entertainment. But this platform that you're on right now is great because you have people like myself and my wife and thousands of other creators who are real people who just happen to have a camera.
Yeah.
And they're talking about real life stuff. So I appreciate you guys for stopping by. I really think that this is something that we'll continue to talk about. But I want you to ask yourself this question. Is the media I'm consuming, whether it be social, is it actually destroying my relationship, my marriage? So I'm leaving it to you guys to think about. And with that, enough said.